Right now, recent numbers from UW-Madison's enrolled freshman class show a decline in students of color. We'll hear from some current students on the numbers and the reaction of the chancellor. Also, Helene strengthens as it prepares to make landfall in Florida. This as the entire Southeast braces for the worst. And later, a local author shares her story on struggling through the pandemic, how she hopes to inspire others. And we welcome you to News 3 Now at 6. UW-Madison's class of 2028 is seeing a lower percentage of students of color. Now, this comes after the 2023 Supreme Court decision that severely limited the use of affirmative action in college admissions. Our Meryl Hubbard is here to break down those numbers. Meryl?
Yeah, Eric, this year's freshman class has a lower percentage of Black, Indigenous, and Latino students compared to last year. This is disproportionate to the overall increase of the class size, as the class of 2028 is UW-Madison's second largest to date. We're going to look at the 2024 demographics. There are a total of 8,516 students enrolled in this year's freshman class. That's exactly 550 more students compared to last year's incoming class. The percentage of Black students dropped by a third of its population, now making up 2.1% of the freshman class. The amount of Indigenous students went from 22 to 13 students this year. That's a 40% decrease and ultimately makes up 0.15% of the freshman class. The percentage of Latino students dropped by about 1.5% from 2023 and now makes up 8.5% of the freshman class. I went to campus and spoke with current UW-Madison students to get their reaction on these numbers.
Wow, that's actually really surprising.
I think that's honestly pretty sad for the university.
I just think it's a little bit discouraging almost to see this a difference in minority populations.
I didn't know that it was decreasing. If anything, I thought it would be increasing.
The percentage of white students increased in UW-Madison's freshman class from 58% to 60.4%. In the years leading up to 2024, the total percentage of students of color was increasing incrementally, and the total percentage of white students was decreasing incrementally. 2024 is the first time we're seeing the inverse of this.
We do need to increase our minority populations. We don't have enough, and we really need to have those voices seen on campus.
Since the Supreme Court ruling was only about a year ago, it will take more time to see the full impact it has on the demographics of universities around the country.
It kind of makes me wonder how that impacts minority groups' decisions on which schools they apply to.
I am surprised, but I'm also trying to be understanding of it because every person has their story, and so the reason why they chose to or not to come to the school.
Data also shows less prospective students are including their race in their UW-Madison application. The percentage of students who did not include their race increased from 3.2% to 4.2% over the last year. In a response from the university chancellor, Jennifer Mnuchin said, quote, "Though declines are disappointing, I want to be clear that our commitment to these students and their communities remains steadfast."
Meryl, thank you. State Superintendent Jill Underly is renewing her call for more investments in public schools. At the Capitol today, Underly emphasized the importance of making sure every student in the state feels like they belong. And that message comes after a report from the Department of Public Instruction earlier this year that found that only 54% of students agree or strongly agree that they even belong at their school. The report also found many students are struggling with their mental health, especially girls and LGBTQ+ students.
This is a crisis. Every child feeling like they belong in our public schools means every child, no exceptions. We know the best way to create positive mental health is to talk about it and do something about it. So to every child out there who is struggling and feels isolated, I want you to know you belong in Wisconsin's public schools.
Dr. Underly has announced she is running for re-election. You'll be able to vote in that race in April of next year. A teenager is in custody after threatening a school on social media. Reedsburg police say they were notified of the post yesterday through the Wisconsin Division of Criminal Investigation. Officers investigated that post and arrested a 17-year-old before the start of school that day. They then took the teen to the Sauk County Jail. Their name has not yet been released. And Verona police are looking for two people who allegedly stole from construction sites on the Epic campus. Police say the suspects entered the campus in a white Ford truck last Saturday night. They allegedly damaged property and stole thousands of dollars in tools. The vehicle left the Epic campus just after 2 Sunday morning. Anyone with information regarding this incident is asked to call the Verona PD at the number there on your screen. While staying dry and mild through the weekend here, let's check your first warn forecast with Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington. Alex?
Eric, out here on the patio, picture perfect, beautiful, beautiful summer light. Well, I mean, fall-like weather, early fall-like weather. It feels like summer, though, out there. Look at where our temperatures have been over the course of the past 24 hours. Lows in the 50s, highs in the mid to upper 70s. That's what you would see late August, early September. This warm streak continues across southern Wisconsin. We got a 76 here in Madison. Look at that, clear skies, beautiful photo here with our Upland Hills sponsored sky cam here of the Capitol. The humidity is low, temperatures are warm. Let's plan the evening. We'll dip back down through the 60s by 10 o'clock when you join us, with Jacob being here at wee hours of the morning. Maybe a little bit of patchy fog out there with lows around 53 degrees. And then we got a nice sunny day in store for Friday. Another picture-perfect day, highs up near 80 degrees. That's about 10 degrees above normal for this time of year. But we are enjoying the nice weather across this part of the country. That is not the case across the southeastern portion of the United States with Hurricane Helene. The impacts on Hurricane Helene, I've got a little bit more information. Eric, I think you've got more information too on Helene right now.
Yeah, that's right. Just going to a Cat 4, as we heard, Alex, at the end of the CBS Evening News. Our weather team closely watching it, and it'll soon make landfall in Florida's Big Bend region. Right now, Helene, as we mentioned, just going to a Category 3 storm. Alex will talk about those wind figures in a moment. Mandatory evacuations are in order for at least 20 coastal counties. Federal task forces from around the country are now getting into place to rescue any folks who didn't heed the warnings. Meanwhile, Tampa International Airport, a major airport, of course, is now suspended all operations ahead of the landfall up in the Big Bend region. Georgia, the Carolinas, Virginia, they've all joined Florida in declaring states of emergency. So now on Helene, let's go back to Alex, who's going to take a look at what the radar is currently showing. And Alex, as you mentioned, right before CBS News just reported it, going to a Cat 4 now. What are those wind speeds?
Yeah, Eric, let's take a look here. We'd see if we can get our monitor to pop up here. What we're actually taking a look at here with our travel forecast in just a moment here, we'll show the travel forecast. I actually want to just go back just a little bit if it'll let us. There we go, radar 3000. We can move that all the way south. Right now, Hurricane Helene is west-northwest of Tampa by about 100 miles an hour, or by about 100 miles, rather, I should say. And we just got an update that winds have strengthened upwards to about 130 miles per hour. That puts Helene right at the edge of a Category 4 storm as it races up towards the Florida Big Bend. And with that, we're going to see that storm surge move along the western coast of Florida right up into the Big Bend, upwards of 20 feet, that storm surge. With the wind and this, the actual acceleration right now of Helene moving northeast at about 25 miles per hour, that's going to push the winds inward. And with the heavy rainfall and the tornado threat, that's going to be an impact for travel across the southeastern portion of the United States, impacting Jacksonville, Florida, Georgia, the Carolinas, all the way up into the lower Ohio River Valley area as we move through the rest of tonight, going on into Friday, as you see the effects of Helene move up towards the north and east, and then it meanders over portions of the mid-Mississippi River Valley. Eventually, we'll start to see some improvement. Rainfall amounts here in southern Wisconsin, heads up, now looking very likely. We'll track another chance of rain and how much we could get early next week. That's coming up.
Alex, thank you so much. We're learning that former President Donald Trump is now changing venues for his upcoming visit to Prairie du Chien. According to CBS News, the Trump campaign is scrapping plans for an outdoor rally at an airport on Saturday. The move is being made because the Secret Service says it did not have the personnel needed to secure the site. Instead, Trump will deliver remarks at a smaller indoor arena. Well, a Republican member of Congress is calling for an investigation after more than 2,000 duplicate absentee ballots were mailed out to 10 wards. Representative Tom Tiffany from Wisconsin's 7th Congressional District claims he caught Madison clerk Mary Beth Witzel-Bale lying about the presence of barcodes on the ballots themselves. Ballots in Wisconsin do not contain barcodes, but the envelopes that the ballots are returned in do contain barcodes, so the voter can track their ballot to ensure it was received. An initial statement on Monday, Witzel-Bale didn't specify that it was the envelopes, not the ballots, that contain those barcodes. The statement has now been updated to specify that the barcodes are on the envelopes. According to Witzel-Bale, once a ballot is received and the envelope barcode is scanned, if a second ballot is returned, it will not be counted. Well, the Coats for Kids campaign, a little more than a week left now from the end of the collection phase. News 3 Now teaming up with Clinky Cleaners, the Boys and Girls Club of Dane County, and Magic 98. We're trying to get to 5,000 coats, and so far We've done pretty well, but we got a long way to go. At 1,479, you have until October 5th to donate. Just take any new or gently used coats, hats, mittens, snow pants, and other winter outerwear to any Clinky Cleaners location. If you don't have a winter coat, consider buying one off the Coats for Kids Amazon wish list. You can look for that link at channel3000.com/coatsforkids. We also have a link there if you'd rather send a financial donation instead. Well, brace for price increases. Coming up on News 3 Now at 6, the upcoming strike that could cause the rise in cost for several goods. Plus, the Girl Scouts in Madison will be boosting their cookie prices for the upcoming season. How much boxes of your favorite Girl Scout cookies will now cost and the reason behind it. Stay with us.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6, brought to you by Gruber Law Offices.
When a truck accident happens, the results can be catastrophic. Our dedicated and proven team is here to help, and there's never a fee until we win. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Fry Construction has done it again. For the 5th year, we've won the prestigious Best of Madison Award, and it's all thanks to you. To celebrate, we're offering 29% off our exclusive Absolute Gutter System with any full roof or siding project. Our gutters are custom fabricated on-site for a perfect, seamless fit that's engineered to excel. Don't just beautify your home, beautify it with the experts you trust. Call Fry Construction today and let us show you why we're the best of Madison.
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
Fentanyl is killing over 1,000 people a year in Wisconsin. New reporting shows that Eric Hovde is doing business with a bank accused of links to the Mexican drug cartel. Banco Azteca loaded up $26 million in cash and flew it to Eric Hovde's bank in California. Other U.S. banks have cut ties with this Mexican bank, but Eric Hovde took their money. That's 26 million more reasons you can't trust Eric Hovde.
Brian Stiles said he's proud of his extreme record. So why is he lying about it? Stiles said he was proud to be part of a group pushing to gut Social Security and Medicare, that he proudly supports abortion bans. And Brian Stiles said he's proud to be backed by extremists pushing a total ban nationwide. Peter Barca's backed by police, firefighters, and unions because Peter puts Wisconsin first, no matter the party, and that's something to be proud of.
I'm Peter Barca, and I approve this message.
Madison residents will have big choices to make in November over the future of our schools.
We're talking about investing into our kids and into each other.
I'm breaking down the Madison school referendum questions, what they could mean for the district, and your tax bill. 3 for the People, Tuesday at 10.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
Welcome back. The price of Girl Scout cookies in the Madison area will go up $1 next year. Starting next season, the cookies will be $6 a box. The gluten-free cookies will stay at $6. Many troops are raising prices to help cover rising costs at the 2 commercial bakeries where the cookies are made. Cookie sales run from January to April. The troops will also get more of the proceeds. Badgerland is moving to a flat rate structure where troops will earn $1 for every box sold. Prices for a wide variety of goods could soon be going up because of tens of thousands of port workers from Maine all the way down to Texas are set to go on strike on Tuesday. If they walk off the job, the flow of goods could stop at almost all of the cargo ports on the East Coast and the Gulf Coast. The International Longshoremen's Association reportedly asking for a $5 an hour raise per year over a 6-year contract. The U.S. Maritime Association calls the union's demands unreasonable. Well, still ahead at 6, Atwood Avenue offering new artwork along its path. And a Madison author opens up on her book about living with a debilitating condition during the pandemic. And can we expect to get any rain from the leftovers of Helene Alex with more on the storm's effects on us when he comes back.
We all know costs are too high, but while corporations are gouging families, Trump is focused on giving them tax cuts. But Kamala Harris is focused on you.
Building up the middle class will be a defining goal of my presidency.
She'll make groceries more affordable by cracking down on price gouging. And she'll cut housing costs by taking on corporate speculators. Middle-class families build America. We need a leader who has their back.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
We're celebrating our 90th anniversary with Steinhaffel's Best Brands, Best Prices sale. Take 10% off all of our best brands of sofas, bedroom, and dining, including special order, so you can really make it your own. And with Steinhaffel's special 18-month 0% interest financing, your new room is even more affordable. It's the Best Brands, Best Prices sale, only at Steinhaffel's and steinhaffels.com.
3 years ago, I had an abortion of a desperately wanted and loved baby. Joan Ballwig wants to ban all abortion, with no exceptions. Not for rape or incest, not to save the mother's life. I know what it's like when women have to make these heartbreaking decisions. The very last person who should have anything to do with it is a politician like Joan Ballwig.
Hot tub season is here now, and Leisure Concepts has so many hot tubs in our showroom we can barely move. Tons of new hot tubs. Floor models are on sale, and a powerful 4-seat hot tub is just $59.99. We'll deliver your new hot tub immediately, and we train you so owning and loving your hot tub is a breeze. Check out our huge packed showroom now for a great hot tub at a great price. Leisure Concepts is on the Beltline at the Park Street exit.
Senator Baldwin claims she's doing something about the fentanyl crisis and says she got a major fentanyl bill passed. But Senator Baldwin is lying. The bill's main sponsor, Senator Tim Scott, had this to say.
As the primary sponsor, I've never had a single conversation with Tammy about this bill, period.
Career politicians like Senator Baldwin are always lying about something. Senator Baldwin, she's extreme, radical, and wrong.
I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
Welcome back. A Madison native published a book last year on her journey with spina bifida. Tanisha Shaw sat down with the author on her success, which all started during the pandemic. Tanisha?
Yes, her name is Mitra Nahavandi. She started writing this book during a very depressing period of her life. Now she's turning her pain into hope to inspire others.
I really became in a rut of I'm disabled, I can't do anything for myself, and even though I knew that that wasn't true.
Mitra Nahavandi was born with a birth defect.
So when most children with spina bifida are born, their spinal column is protruding from their back. And so they'll need back surgery to enclose it. There are a couple different levels, and my level is myelomeningocele. In medical terms, it is the most severe form.
Spina bifida is unique because it looks different for everyone who has it.
You know, you have levels that are severe and not severe. They are so vast in how different they are for that person. Because there are even individuals with the least severe spina bifida occulta who appear like they have the severe form.
During the pandemic, Nahavandi went through a difficult time. She lost her job, went through a breakup, and felt very alone during the shutdown.
One of the things that someone suggested was finding an outlet for that mental health.
That rough time helped create her memoir, Disability to This Ability.
I talk about travel, I talk about relationships, I talk about bullying, and what I dealt with and how I overcame that. So it can help anybody, honestly. It's not necessarily specific to people with disabilities, but anybody could get a message from this.
It's a book that helps readers get through hard times while tackling stereotypes.
The world needs to know that being disabled is not a bad word, and they should be using it. And so that's just one of my goals, is to spread that.
She also told me she sold nearly 200 books all over the world, here in the U.S., in Ireland, and in Australia.
Tanisha, thank you. People using Atwood Avenue will see some new artwork on those paths there. The City of Madison installing several designs on the paths near Olbrich Park. The medallion designs encourage people to be safe and courteous to each other. You'll see 12 up and down the street on each side. There will be more designs coming to other paths within the next few weeks. Now to your complete forecast. Temperature staying above average still. Will that change anytime soon? Here's Alex.
Eric, indeed, yes, temperatures will eventually make a change here over the course of the next 10 days, but not for a while. We're still enjoying basically summer-like readings at 76 outside right now. Beautiful capture here from our Upland Hills sponsored Skycam of the Capitol. Humidity's low, winds are light. This is one of those nights to relish in before, pretty sure we'll get a little bit later into the fall and we'll get that chilly, cool breezes into the area. Nothing like that right now as we plan the rest of your evening. 72 right now, even though it's 76 at the airport. We'll probably skip our way down to 72 by the end of the hour. We'll do upper 60s at 8 o'clock. When you join Jacob, be still in the lower 60s. Clear skies are expected overnight tonight. Let's track the temperatures together. That's part of our weather story. Temperatures and water, temperatures and water. Temperatures and water have been our story for some time now. Low 50s, 53 Madison, maybe a 48 in Camp Douglas to start off Friday morning. Well, 48 Camp Douglas, you're going to go up to 79, 78 degrees. We'll do high rate around 78 here in Madison. So mid to upper 70s again, and water. Remember just a couple days ago, we had nothing in our rain gauge here in Madison. We were way below normal. Then this past weekend, we had copious amounts of moisture, bringing us over 5 inches of rain at the airport. That brings us up to nearly 1 foot above normal for this time of year, or for this portion of the year. So it really just goes to show the swings that we've been seeing in temperatures and also in moisture. Now, you'd think that would have made an impact here with our drought monitor. Unfortunately, abnormally dry to moderate drought conditions still exist across all of southern Wisconsin. And unfortunately, I don't have a lot of water in the forecast. Speaking of water, Hurricane Helene has rapidly intensified to a Category 4 storm. I'm not shocked to see that when you have that lukewarm water, and it still has a few, maybe good 80 to 100 miles yet of water to move over before it gets inland. There's the potential for a little bit more strengthening. Winds right now clocked at 130 miles per hour, gusting to 155 miles per hour. All thoughts for folks in the Great Bend area of Florida, where that storm surge is likely going to come onshore here over the course of the next couple hours. Here are effects, nothing. Maybe a passing cloud or a shower. Temperatures into the upper 70s out there. The only effect we're going to get, northeasterly winds. The shower chance is very low throughout the course of the weekend. A few passing clouds here and there. We'll turn our attention to a cold front coming through on Monday, but that cold front's really not going to be much in the way of a weather maker for us. Winds come out of the northwest, and not much in the way of precipitation. Behind it, though, temperatures will take a dip. There we go. There are temperatures that are feeling like fall from Tuesday to the rest of the 10-day forecast.
And coming up in sports, Aaron Jones makes his return to Green Bay on Sunday, while his former teammates can't wait to be reunited with number 33. That's next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Nobody wants to replace the roof, but these days many roofs are only lasting 10 to 15 years, costing you tens of thousands of dollars. RoofMax makes your roof like new by strengthening and rejuvenating it. RoofMax treatments, started early enough, can extend the life of your roof by 15 years or more. And even if you think your roof is at the end of its life, 90% of the time, RoofMax can extend the life of your roof by 5 years at a fraction of the cost of a new roof. So give us a call and we'll give you a free assessment to see if your roof qualifies.
Democrats say everything's great, but when you're on a fixed income struggling to pay for gas, groceries, or medicine, it doesn't feel great.
Biden-Harris created this mess.
And Tammy Baldwin's been right there with them.
25 years in Washington. What's she done?
Raised taxes.
Added trillions in new debt.
And gave stimulus checks to illegals.
I'm Eric Hovde. I approve this message.
I'd like a stimulus check.
I'd like you to take out the trash.
They've been rocking audiences for decades. It's Foghat. Performing live November 30th at Ho-Chunk Gaming, Wisconsin Dells.
I just want to make
with special guest, The Empty Pockets. Tickets are on sale now through Ticketmaster. Legendary rock band Foghat. Live in concert November 30th at Ho-Chunk Gaming, Wisconsin Dells. Your odds are better here.
I'm Joan Balwig, and these days the cost to make Great Grandma Balwig's Blue Ribbon Banana Bread is, well, just nuts. Wisconsin families are feeling the pinch of inflation, even on the basics. That's why I work to put dough back in your pockets. Led the effort to defend our family farms and pass the biggest tax cut in state history, because the only way to make life affordable again is to do what Banana Bread does and bring everyone to the table.
You don't need to battle addiction alone. Contact the great people at Wood Violet Recovery today. You could be on your way to recovery the same day. Wood Violet Recovery works with a wide range of insurance networks, so a large portion of your treatment may be covered. Wood Violet Recovery will create the treatment plan that best suits your needs. Unlike other rehab facilities, phones and laptops are welcome. Today may feel dark, but there's a brighter tomorrow. Contact Wood Violet Recovery now.
There's a lot of different storylines heading into Week 4 for the Packers, but the big one might just be Aaron Jones that has returned to Titletown after spending his first 7 years in the NFL with the Packers. He's now a member of the Vikings. And ahead of his first trip back since he was released, Jones said there might not be a G on his helmet Sunday, but there's always one in his heart. And his former teammates are looking forward to seeing number 33.
It'll be awesome to be able to see Jonesy again. You know, Aaron Jones is a phenomenal teammate, phenomenal player, one of my favorite all-time players for sure. You know, obviously the situation sucks that he's on the other side, and you know, for him, first game back in Lambeau after being gone, you know, I'm sure there'll be a lot of emotions there for him and things like that. But you know, I'm excited to see him again.
Well, after a sophomore season where she averaged a double-double, 17 points and 10 rebounds, Sarah Williams was named to the league's preseason All-Big Ten team. The conference's reigning Defensive Player of the Year, led the league in offensive rebounds and blocks per game. Badgers tip off their season on October 29th. And just a reminder to check out this week's Wisconsin Huddle with C.J. Williams tomorrow night at 6:30 right here on News 3 Now. But first, here's a sneak peek of this week's Wisconsin Huddle Unleashed. And welcome into this week's Wisconsin Huddle Unleashed. I'm Zach Hanley alongside Tawee Walker. We're playing checkers. How do you feel about your checkers game?
I ain't played in a while, but I'm real competitive, so I feel good. Is there like a strategy to this?
Well, I don't want to give you my strategy,
okay,
right?
I got you. Because I feel like I'm just getting you after you get me.
You want to get
Right, I got you.
Right?
If I go...
But I don't want to... I have a strategy.
If I put that there.
Yep. That you just made it worse.
Oh my goodness, I wasn't even thinking about that. I think you brought games in that you ain't asked us what games we was good at before we came in.
Series finale between the Brewers and Pirates. Crew up 1-0 in the fifth, and Eric Haas gonna send a gapper all the way to the wall in center. That starts a 2-run inning, and they'd score 2 more in the sixth. Brewers get the win and take the series 5-2 the final over the Pirates.
You got to remember how young football players are now. They don't play checkers when they're kids. I don't think I ever played checkers.
I just pick the games that I win at.
Yeah, you're tricking them. Quick final check. We're keeping an eye on that storm.
Yeah, catastrophic storm. Our thoughts are with folks in North Florida right now. Our weather staying benign. Temperatures cooling off next week to where they should be for this time of year.
All right, have a great evening, folks. We'll be back here tonight for News 3 Now at 10.